Yeah, it was good. It was great to get rest and be able to chill out and enjoy some family time this week. My wife and I are about 2.5 weeks away from our second, so it's nice. We're nesting a little bit, but no, it was good. Get the body right, get some treatment, get some workouts in during the week, and then today was a good, clean day to kind of knock the rust off and get some a long individual work in and then compete a little bit, which was good.
Sean was just talking about, obviously the offensive plan might have been a little bit, tailored to each of your last two opponents, but you just talked about, like, it's not good enough, moving into the playoffs. Like, just in terms of film, what you guys saw against the Chargers, what did you guys key on that wasn't good enough that you want to take into this playoff run?
I think, well, first and foremost, the obvious thing is executing in the red zone. You got to turn field goals into into touchdowns, and that's how you win games, especially this late in the year, and especially as you go through the playoffs. Got to be better on third down, and you got to be better on third down by being better on first and second down. So it's kind of a whole as you go through these things, there's the ups and downs of the season. Especially when you play a team twice in your division, who's a very good team as well. So. It's just one of those things. You just got to clean up the details, and we'll be fine.
Mike, obviously, a handful of y'all have had some deep playoff runs. How do you relay your experiences to teammates, or is that a little overblown that, you've been here before, you've been in title games?
I think the only advantage it really gives you is understanding what the moment feels like, because everything else is just football, right? I think the hardest part, for players is to separate how to do the job when things matter the most, right? I think that's what separates great from good and great from the best ever. And those of us, or those that can, understand that each play has its own life, has its own weight to it, and all you got to do is be 1/11th of the operation that's on the field at that time, and you got to do your job, and you don't have to do anything more, and you can't do anything less. And so it's just a matter of understanding what the moment feels like, because it does feel huge. I've stood on the field for a Super Bowl, and it's like a 45-minute pregame ceremony, and you're like, what the hell is going on? And then all of a sudden the ball snapped, and it doesn't change the way I got to block the opponent, right? So it's a matter of focusing on what really matters to you and what matters to you the most is what helps you do your job.
Mike, because you've been there, because you know how hard it is to get there, for guys like you, Ray, to maybe crank it up even a little bit more in terms of how badly you want to get back and finish it?
Certainly. I've been fortunate to play for some really good teams and be a part of some really good teams. And you understand the rarity of what happens. I've been 8 years, and this is the second time that I've ever, gotten the 1 seed. And there's people that have been in the game longer, that have never even been in the playoffs. And so it's like these opportunities come rarely, and you have to appreciate the opportunity that it is and the gravity of it, and the importance of the urgency to get your job done, because you never know when you're going to come back, and if you are, right, like everything, you never know if the next snap is going to be your last. And so when it becomes this meaningful and this important to the team, organization, teammates, and the city that we represent, you have to take that passionately and do your best to capitalize on the moment that presents itself.
You said you have 4 teams you potentially could play. 2 you played this year, 2 you played last year. Is that familiar? Could it help you, going there and all?
Certainly, obviously, the film from this year probably would help more than anything. But you play great teams in the playoffs, and that's the bottom line. It doesn't matter who we play. Whoever's going to come to town here is going to be a great challenge for us, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Mike, you guys had 7 game-winning drives as an offense this year, and while each game obviously has its own fingerprints, are there commonalities or traits that you kind of felt like you guys developed in those moments? Because chances are in a playoff game, it's going to come down to some of those things.
I think that it's really just the development of the confidence in those moments, because you develop the skills in those moments because we practice it every day. I don't think there's been a practice. There certainly wasn't a training camp practice that passed that we didn't do a 2-minute, or we didn't do a situation walkthrough in the afternoon. So these things are rehearsed, but it's the confidence of doing it in the moment, right? It's hey, we've been here, we've done that, and we've been in this position before, because confidence, all confidence is just earned from repeated reps, right? And the more that you show demonstrated ability to do those things, that's where the confidence in those moments come from. And I think we can draw from that as the season goes forward. Yeah.
Last question, Andrew Mason.
Is there a way to convey that urgency and rarity to some of the younger teammates, or is the only way to get that really through experience, kind of like experience of us?
I think the urgency comes from looking around the locker room and not being the guy to, let your team down, right? I think that's how, as a young player, when I was I was my second year that I got to play in a Super Bowl, which, feels like you're cheating the system a little bit because you get to experience something so cool so young. But I remember looking at Joe Staley, who was in his 12th season, or Mike Person, who was my right guard that was in his 10th season, and being like, I don't know what this is like, but I know that I have to do it for them because I don't know if they're going to get another shot at this. And so I think if you're a young player in this league and on this team, one, you have a head coach that's not going to let you not understand the urgency of what's going on. And two, I think there's a great leadership group in our room that's going to understand, like, hey, this is who we are, this is what we've always done, and the work doesn't change because the moment changes. It's just all it means is more work. And that's what we're going to try and do. And like I said, the pride of not being the guy that lets the team down. Go ahead.
Sean is that he's not going to let younger players not understand the magnitude of the moment.
Everything about it. Like I think it's everything that he does, the way that he operates, the way that he coaches. Every day in the team meeting, he tells you exactly what he's thinking. And I think I've appreciated that from a head coach. You never want to be guessing around a building. You never, and Sean doesn't really leave a lot of gray area. And so I think that confidence that he instills every day as he speaks to the team and calls the game and prepares the game plan, that radiates through the building. And I think everybody understands the urgency in which and how important it is, not just to this team, but the organization of the Denver Broncos and the city of Denver and the state of Colorado. And, like I said, opportunities like this don't come around very often, and it's our job to take advantage of it.